Defense in the outfield was supposed to be their strength this year. Duran going back to game 2. I don't know why he jumped for that ball. You know what? At times, John, the center fielder is supposed to be the guy who calls people off, right?
If it's in a gap, it's the center fielder's ball.
So I don't feel like you were getting that this weekend.
No.
Wilyer Abreu was a little aggressive. Duran, I think, was tentative at times, even the ball that went off the wall from Stanton.
Did you see that Abreu caught a ball? He was almost behind second base last night.
Yep.
That I understand there's no room out there in right field, but that goes to my point. Abreu had his eyes really wide open in this series. The moment was too big for him.
Yeah, in a way with him, and maybe this is something that they'll look at after the series, but Abreu didn't get a lot of at-bats because they went with the right-handed lineup. So if you look at it, I'm sure if we looked at the tape, Sogard, Eaton definitely got more at-bats than Abreu in the series.
Sure.
That's unacceptable.
Well,
that's bad.
It's also unacceptable because Rob Refsnyder and Romy Gonzalez both turned back into Rob Refsnyder and Romy Gonzalez.
Yep.
I mean, that's another part of it, too. If Abreu's going to be worth anything to you, you have to play him full-time. And early left after giving up 3 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. He deserved better, and Joe, I know we disagree on this. I had no trouble with Early staying out there during that inning because, let's be honest, they weren't really kicking the crap out of him. The hardest hit ball he gave up was that Stanton double off the wall, and that didn't hurt him. You had a ball just out of Story's reach, just out of Romy Gonzalez's reach. That grounder to Nathaniel Lowe, the play should have been made. The defense let him down. Alex Cora said as much afterwards. I didn't think Early pitched that bad. He pitched as good as anyone else they could have brought in, so I had no trouble with him staying out there.
I don't think it's Early's fault by any means. But he gave up 5 hits in an inning. They didn't pull him. So, it's like you already told me I was wrong, which this is why we do sports radio. Your take, my take.
Yeah.
He was pitching to contact. It was weak contact. I get what you're saying. There was nobody ready in the bullpen. I know the series was lost in game 2. I know it was. We could talk about game 3 forever, John, but I don't know if Alex Cora was completely all in on game 3 like he was in game 2. And with Early, I get what you're saying. He was pitching well. You wanted to see how he would do. The defense completely let him down. I just thought he started pitching to contact when he was actually getting strikeouts early on.
What do you mean he wasn't all in last night?
There was nobody warming in the 4th inning with runners on base. He just gave up 3 hits in a row, and no one's ready to go. And then the guy you go with is
Slayton.
I hated it. I hated the idea. I thought we were getting the lefty because that's what they promised. But I will say this. I was completely shocked by both pitchers starting out like that.
Well, let's talk about that. He threw 8 shutout innings. He walked no one and struck out 12. It's the most ever for a rookie pitcher for the Yankees in a postseason game, the strikeout total. He threw 107 pitches, the last of which was 98 miles an hour. He's the first pitcher in Major League Baseball postseason history with 8 scoreless innings pitched, no walks, and 12 or more strikeouts. Alex Cora's team had no chance last night.
We needed to be perfect tonight because he was perfect. I mean, the stuff is outstanding. He was under control. That was electric.
Sox had 1 base runner in the 9th inning against closer David Bednar, but that was it. They lost 4-0. They are the first team in the history of the new wild card round of the playoffs to win the first game of the best of 3 and lose the next 2. The Yankees head to the divisional round of the playoffs. They open up a best of 5 series in Toronto tomorrow afternoon. The big story of this game, Joe, was Schlittler, who was making his 15th Major League start. But he had never struck out 10 hitters in any professional game he had pitched in. And again, he started at Double-A this year. Wasn't even a full-time starter there. Advanced past Triple-A. Had an ERA of under 3 in 14 starts for the Yankees. And he was only 24 years old. To throw a kid out there like that and to have him perform like that, we were bitching and moaning about the 4th inning and what the Red Sox could have done and what they may not have done. None of that matters because they weren't going to score against this kid.
Completely agree. He actually said in postgame it was personal. I mean, he's a local kid, if you didn't hear last night. From Walpole, Mass. His dad's works in Needham, I believe. But he said there was a line crossed. He goes, I'm a competitor. I'm going to go out there and make sure I shut them down. I'm trying to think of a rookie appearance that, like, Livan Hernandez sticks out to me. That was one. And that was World Series.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, like, another rookie appearance where a guy was that electric. I don't think I can, John.
Yeah.
He was absolutely awesome. And, you know, I tip my cap to the kid. But for the Red Sox and all their awards to show, yeah, their base running was bad the night before. They couldn't drop a bunt. Their defense was bad. But in the end, like, they didn't have the bats. Like, in this game, the kid was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But was it the bats or was it the kid?
No.
It's the kid. I agree.
Well, it was the kid last night, but the bigger problem for the Red Sox after you trade Rafael Devers and don't replace him in the order is that once you get by Alex Bregman in that order, I mean, there's a bunch of crap. Your cleanup hitter didn't start the first 2 games of the series. The guy who hit 5th to you asked to bunt in game 2. I mean, this is what Alex Cora had to do for the last 2 months of the season. I mean, Rob Refsnyder is a nice 4th outfielder, but he shouldn't be hitting. And he hit cleanup and let off for you. Romy Gonzalez is the epitome of a journeyman utility infielder. You know, he is not a first baseman. Played first base for long periods of time for you. He both led off. Well, he both led off and hit cleanup for you against lefties. Yet, and I had the stat yesterday: 40% of Romy Gonzalez's career at bats came this year. He hit 30 points higher against lefties this year than he had in his career. Rob Refsnyder, 20 points higher as a batting average than his career mark. You got incredibly lucky to get this far. And as a Red Sox fan, usually I'm angry about losing to the Yankees because F them, but I'm not upset this morning. Alex Cora squeezed all the toothpaste out of the tube just to get to this point. They were a fatally flawed team the entire season. They were the worst defensive team in the majors. They had 3 starting pitchers for the last month of the season. They had a starter and a half for this series. It's a miracle that they made game 3 of this series. If they did not have Garrett Crochet, they would have finished, 4th in the division? Maybe worse. They were a team built on an outstanding offensive season from Trevor Story and a Cy Young caliber season from Garrett Crochet. It was all smoke and mirrors. Other than that, I have no trouble with them getting this far and getting to the playoffs. And you heard it from a lot of the people afterwards. Alex Cora, I'm proud of the way these guys played. Proud of how they played. Any other manager for the Red Sox would have said, you know what, this one stings. Cora didn't say that. He said this was the most fun he's ever had as a manager. That much different feeling. They know in that building they shouldn't have been there. So hats off to Cora, because if you don't have Alex Cora as your manager, you finish 3rd or 4th in 10 games out of the playoffs.
This is where we differ, John Wallach. I am sorry. You choked. You lost 2 in a row. You had 2 chances to beat the Yankees. I'm sorry. You can feel good about the series. You can say you're happy. You can say it was fun. It was fun. You blew it. You choked. You probably didn't belong there. That's the whole problem. That's my problem.
You're right. They didn't belong.
They probably didn't belong, and they still should have beat the Yankees. Aaron Boone is an awful manager.
Yep.
It was the fact they lost this series to the Yankees. I am not tipping my cap to them. I'm not saying Cora got everything. In this town for years, John, I'm not calling you soft because you're a man who lived through the fellowship. You lived it, bro.
Yep.
So as I'm talking here, I hope you get it back. They choked.
No.
They choked.
Maybe the last
Facts.
5 years have beaten me down. No, they should have won this series. I'm not arguing that point. You're right. They lost, and I also agree with you that they lost this series in game 2. But having said all of that, this team is not good. They are a bad baseball team on a lot of different levels. There's no pop in that order. There's no depth to that rotation. The bullpen is a bunch of mishmash guys just to try and get into the 8th inning.
John, They're the 1-13-1. They're the only team ever in a wild card era to win game one and lose the series. No. Don't give me this. They got as much as they could out of it. What happened to you? What happened to you?
That stat you just threw at me, that's just weird. That trust me, when all is said and done in 5 years, there are going to be a bunch of teams that win game one and lose the next two. I don't. That stat you can toss away. The other.
What happened to you? I can't get over this. Cora squeezed everything out of it. Cora almost blew the damn thing too. Call it a butt with the runners on first and second.
Other than that '99 team with Darren Lewis hitting third and Nomar hitting fourth, and they're beating Cleveland with Lou Merlone at shortstop in the first round of the playoffs. This might be the worst Red Sox playoff team of my lifetime.
No way.
Oh God, yes. Give me one that's worse than this one.
I mean, 95 at least had the MVP.
Yeah.
I didn't love their roster.
They had Mo Vaughn and Canseco on that team.
No way, Jose.
But I mean, give me a worse Red Sox playoff team talent-wise than this one.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.